Hi everyone, welcome to our third video talk about China IP. First, I want to briefly introduce myself. My name is Abraham Chen. I have 10 years of experiences working as IP consultant and trademark attorney in China. I'm currently working with Rouse, a global leader in IP services, and Rouse's affiliate, LexIP, which is a premium online IP services provider in China. Over the past 10 years of my career, I have provided IP legal services to many multinational corporations like Mars, Savencia, Servia, BP, Gucci, Subaru, UBS, etc. Today, we are still focusing on trademark refusals in China. As we are talking about in last video, in general, China trademark refusals are mainly based on two grounds. First, absolute grounds. Second is relative grounds. On absolute grounds, there are two types of circumstances. First is absolute grounds which are against trademark use. This circumstance have been discussed in our last video. This video is going to focus on absolute grounds which are against trademark registration. Under these grounds, it refers to those trademarks which do not have inherent distinctiveness. These marks can normally be not allowed to register as trademarks, but they can still be used as trademarks in China. So I'm going to begin today's talk. So the absolute grounds which are against trademark registration, they are regulated by Article 11 of PRC trademark law. This article contains 3 items of rules which specifically regulate dozens of different circumstances under which a mark cannot be registered as trademarks in China. I'm going to talk about them one by one. So first, this refers to a mark which merely states the generic name, figure, or model number of the commodities. So I'm listing here 3 exemplary marks which have already been refused. So first mark, which is Muller, it designates hand tools. As you know, Muller is the generic name of a common type of hand tools, so it lacks distinctiveness on hand tools. And second mark, as you can see, is a device about the shoe soles. So when it designates shoes, it is not distinctive enough. So it's getting refused. And third mark is a composition of 3 common letters, ZKT. It designates air conditioners. Actually, ZKT is the generic name of a common model number of all air conditioners. So examiners feel it as a trademark lacks the inherent distinctiveness, so it cannot be registered as trademarks. Second, this refers to the mark which merely and directly expresses the quality, key ingredients, functions, purposes, weight, quantity, and other characteristics of the commodities. For instance, safety. This mark designates leakage protectors used for electricity-related products. So this mark may be used to describe the safetiness of its designated goods. So examiners feel it doesn't have the inherent distinctiveness, and so it cannot be registered. And this mark is 50 kg, and it designates rice. So 50 kg is a common term to describe the weight of the products. So naturally, examiners may feel this is an indicator of the weight of its designated goods. So it's not inherently distinctive enough to be registered as trademarks. And this mark is American native. Examiners believe it may refer to the characteristics that the products are manufactured in America. So it describes the origin of the products. So it's not inherently distinctive enough to be registered. Third, other different forms of trademarks like in distinctiveness. I listed some example trademarks which have been refused already because they lack distinctiveness, such as this device, which is deemed as too simple, so gets refused. This device, it's a little bit too complicated, so it's also refused. Why? Because examiners feel you're so complicated, the common consumers may be very difficult to remember you as trademark. So you cannot normally play the role of a trademark. So you cannot be registered as trademarks in China. And this mark is composed of two common font letters. So the examiners believe if you get registered as trademarks, other competitors, they may simply use the same or highly similar mark simply out of coincidence. Maybe they're not deliberately infringing your marks. They are using same or identical mark, same or similar marks out of coincidence. So if you use your trademark rights to enforce against them, it's not fair. So the examiners just can't give you this unfair, legal right to enforce against others. So this common letter mark cannot be registered as trademarks in China. And there are three other types of indistinctive marks. First, this is a common packaging, which is a bottle packaging for beverages, drinks, so it cannot be registered. And this is the single color. In China, unlike many other countries, China still doesn't accept the registration of single color as trademarks. And this mark is common numbers, so it doesn't have the sufficient inherent distinctiveness to be registered. And these forms of indistinctiveness is also quite interesting, I think. First, this is a common advertisement slogan. Actually, it's quite unique, but consumers will remember it as a slogan, not as trademark, so it cannot be registered. And this one is more designating sales services. Examiners feel this mark is a common name for the places which offer sales services to consumers. So it's not distinctive enough and thus cannot be registered. And this mark, Inc., which is the abbreviation of incorporation, which is a common part of company names. So it's not distinctive enough according to China criteria. It cannot be registered alone. And this one is some hotline number. Maybe it's unique. Maybe this number is used only by one specific company. But according to examiners, other companies can be likely to use very similar numbers for hotline services too. So if you get it registered as trademarks, you may get the legal right to enforce against others, which is unfair. So the examiners don't want to grant registration for this kind of common hotline number as trademarks. And so the indistinctive mark, in theory, it cannot be registered as trademarks, but it can still be used as trademarks in China. As long as the use evidence is enough, we can still prove the mark actually acquires the distinctiveness through long-term use. And then it can be registered as a trademark. In practice, the acceptable evidence to establish the acquired distinctiveness may be as below, like audit reports on sales figures and networks, advertisements and promotions, third-party independent media reports, honors and awards, the products which bear the trademarks have won, and consumer or customer affidavits. But we have to say, in practice, it's not easy to establish the acquired distinctiveness. In many times, maybe the mark has to be as well known as some like worldwide famous marks like Coca-Cola or Dale. Then you may be able to establish the acquired distinctiveness. Otherwise, the authorities will still deem that your mark isn't distinctive enough. So the lesson is, when you want to register a trademark in China, it's the best to choose a mark which is inherently distinctive before filing. Don't try to rely on the review on refusal stage to persuade the examiners that your mark has acquired distinctiveness through use. The success chance is not very high in practice. So this comes to the end of our today's video talk. If you have any problem or questions, please do not feel hesitant to contact us by my mobile phone here and my email address here. Thank you. Have a nice day.